Morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, as per usual, live chat at this end does not work. So, you're going to have to shoot me a text to let me know that you're out there. Good morning, Evelyn. Is it just you or are you both there today? Craig joining you? Morning, Melva. Morning, Terry. Yes, ouch. Good morning, Kay. Good morning, Deb. So if there's anyone out there that doesn't have my number, you probably can't see it up on my little thingy you got there, 0409 688 279. You can shoot me a text message to let me know you're out there. Otherwise, you can shoot me a messenger through Facebook. No live chat. No live chat. Might be working at your end. It is not working at this end, so please don't use it. I was better, Evelyn, until a moment ago when I was trying to set up, and I thought, just make sure that there's enough headroom in that when I'm standing with the other camera. And I did a squat, and I did a few of them, and I was like, oh, awesome, because I've taped my knee up, and it felt okay. And then it didn't. So now it doesn't. It's taped up, but I haven't got the proper tape. So the tape that I've got is too stiff. So as I've moved my leg, it's probably loosened a little bit somewhere, and it's not holding on as properly. Well, good morning, Hanny. Good morning, Mary. You made it. Good on you. Yep, no problem, Terry. So, one of the things that you can do, for those that are out there, one of the things that you can do with the fit ball, if you have any hip issues, when we actually put the ball between the knees, for today, you could probably grab a cushion or something like that, and pop that between the knees instead. But for other classes, if you decided that you do want to continue with a fit ball class, the option would be to get a small round kids soft ball. So they're about $3 or something in Kmart. And that's the sort of thing that you can then pop between your knees instead of the big ball. So that's if you've got any hip issues, that will help there. Otherwise, it'll be this ball that goes there. So that's an option. So if anyone wants to grab one, you're more than welcome before we start to quickly go and grab yourself a small cushion or whatever you can find. You may have a small ball at home, a little chi ball or something, preferably not a weighted ball. That might be a bit tricky. All right. So if anyone's written anything onto live chat, just so that you know, I'm not receiving those messages at this end. So good morning, Joan. Please make sure that you've sent me a text message to let me know you're out there. For anyone that might be out there that hasn't done a class with me before, because there was a little bit of interest on Facebook, my phone number is 0409 688 279. You're welcome to shoot me a text message and let me know you're out there. Don't worry, you won't get lots of nagging text messages from me. YouTube seems to have this thing where it changes the times that I put on things. So it'll say that it's not available until a certain time, but that doesn't mean it's not available. Because that's why in the title I write what time it is, because when I set the time to Eastern Standard Time, which is us, but when it transfers through to a link, for some reason it goes to Greenwich Mean Time, and it's never set for Melbourne. So I don't know where it's telling you, but it's because it's plus something or other. But anyway, so it should work. I think most people have got through with the proper link. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Mandy. Welcome. Good to hear from you. Hope you've been well. Been a while. All right. So as we're getting started and the last people are starting to come through, I'm just going to go through sitting on the ball for those that may not have done it for a while, making sure that you've got the right size ball as well. So you can see I've got quite a big ball, but I've let it, well, it's quite soft, so it fits okay because of that. So when you're sitting on a ball, so even if it's a big ball, you can soften them so you can see how soft this one is. Some people have quite a firm ball, which is fine as long as you're comfortable and you feel stable. So that's what it is. Some people prefer hard, some people prefer soft, okay? And you get used to it as well. Sometimes you just go, well, that's my ball. Okay, but when you do sit on it, you do need to be at right angles. So you can see I've got right angles through the hips here and right angles through the knees. So my knees are directly above my ankles here, okay? So that's how you sit on a ball, that's how you know it's the right size. They go off height of people, but that can change as well because some people have quite long legs and some people have shorter legs, and so the proportions aren't quite even. So it doesn't quite work that way, but you can get a rough guide. So the ball that I'm actually sitting on is a 65 centimetre ball. However, I've got it blown up at about 60 centimetres. That's 60 centimetres like that. Because it's soft, it squashes down to probably just a little bit lower than that, somewhere between 55 and 60. Okay, so the next size down that you can buy from a 65 is a 55. So as long as you're sitting here like this, 55 is perfectly fine. You do find that a lot of places, and I've noticed physios, will sell a ball that is a 65 centimetre to just an average, I'm going to call it average height, so mid 5 foot to 5'5" to sort of 5'8" kind of height. They'll sell them, but whereas I think personally for what we're doing, you're better off to have a 55 at that height. Once you sort of get into that taller end, after 5'8", you sort of want to start looking at getting a 65. And like I said, you can adjust it with how much air you have in it. If you have a decent ball, you'll be able to keep that size constant. When you do buy your cheaper ones, and they're great to get started with, so if you're really enjoying it, I would recommend buying something that's a decent quality. But if you do buy the cheaper ones that you get from Aldi and Kmart and those sorts of places, after a while they will stretch really easily, and then every time you try and blow it back up to that size, you'll never get it firm and you'll never get it the right size. It'll just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so that is one thing when you're choosing a ball. So if you've gone out and got yourself a ball for now, and you don't use it very often, then you know you might be able to get away with something like that, the cheaper balls. But if you do want to do it as a regular thing, I recommend actually going out and spending a bit of money on a fit ball. And I love fit ball. I think it's so much fun, and it is such a great way to get a workout. Yes, there are some challenging exercises in it, but that's the point of it. You get to a point in your workout, especially if you're doing Pilates workout, and you get to that point, and then just having that challenge of trying something different, seeing where you're at. So of course, balance is a huge thing when you're sitting on the ball, and having that stability through the hips, the pelvis area is really, really important, but the ball will help you focus on that. So if you are a little bit weaker in the hips or a little bit weaker in the butt, you might find that the fit ball really quickly helps you balance. Okay, so it is great for that. As well as that, if you're after really toning and trimming and working on your abs, it's also really great for that area of the body. Now, the one thing I'm going to say before we start is if you do have any back issues, you do need to take care. There are some positions on the fit ball that really test that back, okay? So what is happening, and if you haven't seen my workshop yet, it's on my YouTube channel. Please check it out so you understand what I'm saying now. But what is happening when you're getting a sore back, it's because you're not using the front. You're not using your abs, you're not using your core. And that could be because it's not strong enough for one reason or another. There's many reasons. Okay, so if you do have a weak core and a weak back, then you may not be able to do as many repetitions as someone else. Okay, so most of my repetitions are going to be 10s like usual, but if you find that 10 is too much, please stop. Okay, especially when we do things like curls, that can really get into the back for some people, and that is purely because that connection here, and again, it goes back to my workshop that I have done, talking about your corset muscles that wrap around here. If those muscles are activated, they're pulling you in this way, which means the rib cage, because that's where they're attached as well, pulls inwards, okay? Which means you can't expand in that direction, or you don't expand in that direction when you're switched on, okay? So when you do this, then for you to come back to normal, your back muscles will do all the work for you. So what I'm saying is when you come out, and I'm going to just show you quickly, when we're in a squat position, squats on my mind, when you're in this position to do some curls, okay, if I let go of those corset muscles, I expand around the ball. Now, in order for me to curl up, I've got to activate my back muscles, and my tummy muscles are no longer working, which means I don't have the stability and the strength in my core anymore to support me. And my back's going to then get sore really quickly. So if you have any back issues, be really aware of that. Make sure you're in the easier position for when we come to this. And if it gets too much, stop. Don't have to do 10, okay? 10 curls on the ball is very different from 10 curls on the floor as well. And you'll find that out when we get to that point, okay? So I think that's probably the main thing. As well as, like I was saying, with challenges, some positions are a little bit harder just because it's awkward to get into, but we're going to do it slowly and we'll get through it. That's the point of today's class, is to get you used to the ball, work out what you can do, and then you might want to check out one of my classes in Fitball and know that you don't need a huge space for this, okay? If you don't have any wall space, then you can use a chair or a table or something like that, and that's one exercise that we do where you'll have the tips of your toes, that part of your foot will be on it, okay? So wall or a chair or a table, whatever's not going to slide, because you'll have a bit of weight pushing back into it. Okay, other thing is, and that just reminded me, because I touched my feet, is shoes. Some people have asked me why I wear shoes when I do Fitball, and it's really stability. It's to make sure I'm not slipping. Okay, so on a mat, sometimes you can slip if you're in socks. Same on carpets or hard floors, you might slip. I just feel a lot safer because of the grip that's on the bottom of the shoe, that I'm not going to slide. Okay, so that's why I'm wearing shoes. Completely up to you. You can see how you go. Sometimes bare feet is just as good as shoes. Depends on your feet. All right, so let's get started. We're sitting up nice and tall like I am right now. We're just going to start by loosening up, all right? So sitting up nice and tall, and we're going to circle the hips. So what I want you to do is tuck your bum under, twist out to the side, push your bum back, then out to the other side. And we're going around in big circles. I want you to make those circles as big as you can. So we tuck and roll. And roll. Now while I'm doing this, my feet are flat on the floor the whole time, so I don't want you going like this and your feet moving around, because this movement here is a lot of legs and it's not really just the pelvis, and that's what we're trying to loosen up. So let's go the other way as well. And the other great thing with this exercise is it's really good for digestion. So if you ever have any issues with digestion, something you might have eaten, or medications that you might be on, this will help to get those muscles working and moving and get the food traveling further through your body. So great movement for digestion. Okay, let's finish back in the center, sitting up nice and tall. Take your arms down by your side. We're going to drop the chin to the chest. We're going to roll down and go as far as we can, hanging over the legs. Belly button is back, and then we're going to slowly unroll until we're sitting up nice and tall again. And let's go down, chin to the chest, deep breath out, roll it down, go as far as you can. I'm just going to check the message that came through before to see who else has joined us. Slowly. Yeah, it's these cameras, Mary. Roll back up. It's these cameras, I can't get the lighting right on them. Roll back down again, and that's why it's got a pink tinge to it. And roll back up. And sit up tall. These are my new cameras and they're not. Yeah. I don't know how to work it. Let's take our arms out to the side, shoulders down, a little twist to the right. And a little twist to the left. And again around. And around. And again. And last one. Good, take those arms down by your side, a little side stretch here. And then over to the other side. Now I'm actually trying to keep my hips nice and still here. So I'm actually moving through the whole body. The ball's still reasonably still. Okay, now sit up nice and tall. Now we're going to take the legs out nice and wide. Okay, we're going to take our right arm and we're going to transfer the weight. So this leg straightens, the other one bends, and we reach through the pot plant. And then we transfer the weight over the other way and we reach up over the top, stretching down the side of your body. Now you can rest your hand here if you like. This is still the beginning of class. Reach again. And now we're going across the body and down towards the little toe, okay? So you might get a stretch in the lower back there. And back up, okay? So the whole time the legs are doing this. Let's get that motion going to start with, back and forth. Back and forth. Now add in your arm. Right arm stretches out and up and out and across and out and up and out and across. Once more. Out and up and out and across. Back to the center. Let's slide to side again. Okay. All right. Now the other arm. Reach and up and out and across and out and up and out and across. Once more, and up and out and across. Back to the center. Let's bring those legs back in. All right, feet flat on the floor again, and I'm going to tuck the bum under. So you're going to tuck the pelvis and sit up. Again, you can see the legs are nice and still. The feet are flat on the floor. Okay, if I was using my legs only, I'd be doing this. Okay, and I don't want you doing that. Pelvis. Pelvis. What we're doing now is activating the core, lifting the pelvic floor. Tuck and tuck and tuck. Good. Okay, we're going to stand up now. So grab your ball, bring it around and standing up. Pick your ball up. Now your ball's going to act, let me move this way. Your ball's going to act as a weight. All right, so standing nice and tall, belly button back, and we're going to take the ball up above the head. Up and down. Up and down. Again, if you came to the workshop, you will have heard about this, but when we lift the ball above our head, we don't want that chest pushing forward. We need to keep the tummy activated, and we need to make sure we are breathing in, up through the spine, Breathing out through the mouth. Breathe in, lengthen the spine, and breathe out. Good, okay, we're going to take it up on an angle now. Up to the right and across to the left hip. Up to the right and across. Frame the head. Get the head between both arms here, okay? So it's not this. Lift the arm up and frame. And frame. You can feel one arm working a little harder than the other. Let's change sides and across and lift and across and lift and across, lift. Let's do 2 more. 1, make sure you're not throwing that ball up there. Control and back down. Feel those arms working? Let's twist from side to side and we're going to move the feet. Move the feet. Follow the ball around. Good. Now you don't have to go too far. Try not to twist those knees. Around and around and around. Good. All right. Let's take the ball back down. Give your arms a little shake. Okay. I'm not even going to attempt squats today because I can feel my knees already not happy. So that means you guys don't have to do squats today. However, we do usually do squats. So for those that might want to give one of the classes a try, be warned, there are squats in the classes. We're going to sit back on top of the ball. Okay, we're going to activate that core again. Going to get some work done through there, out through the deep muscles, the pelvic floor, the core, and those abs. So I'm going to actually flip you back to this camera, and we're going to sit up nice and tall here. So, like I said before, we want to have our feet flat on the floor, feet, ankles underneath the knees. We're going to tuck the bum under, and we're going to sit up. And we're going to tuck, and we're going to sit up. And we're going to do that 3 more times. Nice and slow and gentle. Let's do 1 more. And lift. Good, now we're going to take our feet a little further away. Now they're still slightly bent. This is where you need to make sure that you're not sliding, because now your weight is pushing out. You can very easily slide, okay? So we're going to tuck first, because that connects all here and makes you strong and supported here. And then we're going to transfer those knees back over the ankles. Now you may not be able to see where your ankles are, so this is again where a mirror or a reflection of some sort will help you. And then you sit up, okay? So what you're doing is you're doing that C curve from before, but now as we lean back to counterbalance, you can feel that the tummy muscles start to activate as well. Lift. Tuck first, knees over the ankles, lean back and lift. Now if your tummy muscles aren't overly strong, don't go back too far, because the further back you go, the more chance you're going to do this to hold on, okay? And we don't want to hold on with the shoulders. Tuck, lean just as far as you can, and lift. Tuck, lean, and lift. And tuck, lean, and lift. Let's do 1 more. Good, and pull up. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to take 1 more step forward. So pop your hands on the side of the ball. Keep looking straight ahead and take 1 little step. Now your bum comes down the ball, and I've got more of my back on the ball. And now you can feel those tummy muscles working, because if they're not working, your neck will be, and so will your back. So keep your tummy muscles working. Yes, they're getting nice and warm now. All right. I've tucked my chin right to my chest to help support my neck, and I'm breathing, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be able to talk to you. So you've got to breathe as well. You can support your neck. It's harder here, but it's better on the neck, so you got to balance it out. Pelvic tilt. Tuck your bum. Tuck your bum. All I'm doing is squeezing and trying to get that pubic bone pushing towards the ceiling. Belly button down, bum up. Let's go faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now we're going to come back up. Hands on the side of the ball and walk back to sit up. If you disconnect and switch off your core at any stage, this happens. And when this happens, you're not stable, you end up on the floor, okay? Stay switched on. That's the brilliant thing about the ball, is that you've got to be working all the time, okay? So tuck again, belly button back, couple of little steps forward. We bring the bum down the side of the ball. You can come a little bit further forward if you like and bring that bum down a bit more. But you've got to make sure you're on the ball. I have seen some people come so far that they're in this position. That's when the ball's going to go flying backwards, okay? And your butt down. So you've got to be on the ball. Your belly button's back. Remember corset muscles, pull them in. Okay, chin's on the chest, support your neck if you have to. Pelvic tilt, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. One up, one down. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands on the ball and sit up. Good. Okay. We're going back out there and we're going to do some of those curls I was talking about earlier. So circle your hips if you need to. Don't do as many repetitions. If you've got to come up, come up. Remember, you need to have strength coming up as well. So you can't have used it all out there because then you'll be stuck. Tuck. 2 steps. Knees over the ankles. All right. Make sure if your feet are out here, you're pushing that way, you're going to slide that way and end up on your bum. So feet underneath you. Bum down the side of the ball. Now this is the easiest way to do them. Now you can support your neck. You've got to remember those corset muscles. All right. Bring the chin in and a little curl. I'm not trying to sit up. It's more of a crunch. Elbows out to the side. I don't want to yank on my head. You want to go harder? Step back a little bit, bring that belly button closer to the top of the ball, and then try and lift. Again, you don't need to sit up. I see a lot of people do this and sit all the way up. We don't need to go that far, okay? Tummy muscles are working. If you can't feel them working, oh, I don't know who you are. Thor, Wonder Woman. Everyone should be able to start feeling those working, if not already burning. Now burning is a good thing. That's where we want to go in this position, okay? But you can also feel that the longer you go like this, the tougher it's going to get and the more tired those deep muscles will get, and that's when we'll start to expand out every time we lean back, and then we'll get a sore back, okay? So let's do a couple more. And let's walk back. Use the ball, hold the ball if you need to, okay? And sit up. Let's circle the hips a couple of times, just in case you're getting a little bit tight in the lower back. What's your plans? Okay, so we need to go back out and do obliques. Yes, those tummy muscles should be feeling nice and warm and tight now. Okay, let's keep going. Let's push against that wall and see if we can get them to the point where we can't feel them burning anymore. It is there. Tuck. 2 steps forward, and if you remember, if you're going to go work harder, you're back 1 step. All right, support your neck. You don't have to, you can have long arms. All right, and then we're going to come over and over. Now the ball is reasonably still. If I am using my legs in all of this, can you see a difference? You keep going properly, and you can maybe watch me in the corner of your eye and see how the ball is moving, and so are my legs. I need to keep those knees over my ankles the whole time. Again, I don't want to fall on the floor. I want to stay on top of the ball. How are those tummy muscles going? Are they starting to ease off a little bit? I mean, they'll ease off and it'll come back because you've just pushed that wall a little further away. So stop if you need to. How are you going, honey? And Mandy? Belly button sinking back. So I'm doing quite a few because I know there's people out there that can do more than others. You need to listen to your body and just do what you can do, all right? Alrighty, let's come up to the center. Now, for those that are a little bit more progressed in football, you can leave your arms here as you come to sit up. For other people, that's when you support yourself with the ball. When I'm doing that, you can see I'm keeping both hands on the ball and my chest open, because if I come up on one side more than the other, I'm going to twist and move the ball. And where do I end up after that? But down on the floor, okay? All right, circling those hips a couple of times each direction. How are those tummy muscles feeling now? Good. We're going to add it all together. Are you ready? We're going to count it and we're going to go one after the other. I am doing repetitions of 10. If that's too much for you, just do what you can. But we're going to start with 5 C curves just to get us going. 2, 3, lifting in the center, 4, and one more, 5. Good. Now we're going to take 2 steps out, bum down the ball, support your neck if you need to, and 10 pelvic tilts. 1, 2, belly button in, 4, squeeze the bum, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hold. Now, I like to get people to hold this position because it just means you're working that butt still, okay? So we're going to support the neck, belly button down, and we curl up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, is it easier now? 5, 4, 3, 2, straight into obliques, over 1, 2, 3, now it's getting harder again, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, center, hold the ball if you need to, and walk back. Easy as that. Circle the hips, loosen up. All right, good. Let's get that butt working a little harder now. So, you'll like this one. We're going to walk out, we're going to take another step, and our head is going to be sitting on the ball. Now, not just your head, but basically shoulder blades to head. So feel what you can feel on the ball, all right? You don't want to go too far forward, but we don't want to be too far back. So what you do is you do your pelvic tilt. You make sure that nothing is moving around on the floor. You take 3 steps forward, okay? Obviously, depending on how big your steps are, but you should end up here. Now, if you have a look on the screen, you can see, if I move my arms out of the way, okay, shoulder blades are on the ball, head is resting on the ball as well, but my lower back and butt are lifted. Now, if I let go of everything, I hang down here. So you're going to have to squeeze that bum and push those hips up, make yourself into like a table. Now let the arms just hang. That helps me keep my chest open. Squeezing that butt nice and hard, I can already feel it starting to work. We're going to drop the bum towards the ball, towards the floor. Now I'm not going to go too far. Depending on who you are, you may end up tilting too far and then your back will switch on to pull up. So I want you to feel like you're still gently squeezing that butt or lifting the pelvic floor, which is more what it's about. Pelvic floor lifted, squeeze the bum. Pelvic floor lifted, squeeze the bum. Pelvic floor, bum. Pelvic floor, bum. Keep going. Let's do 5 more. 5 and 4, 3 and 2. Now we're going to hold this one so that I can talk to you and you can feel that butt working. If you are feeling any pressure in your lower back, I want you to take a step back, get your back on the ball, and even come all the way back up to the top, okay? Sit up tall. If your back is feeling okay, you should be feeling it right through here in your butt, okay? You may feel some of it in the top of the legs, okay? That does happen, especially if they're a little bit tight. If you can't feel your butt working at all and your back is fine, let's have a look at where our knees are. So mine are roughly hip distance apart at the moment. If they're really far apart, different muscles are going to work. You can get down into here, but it more becomes about the hamstrings, the back of the legs, okay? Bring your legs closer together. The closer they are, the harder it is to squeeze that butt and lift, which means the butt works harder, all right? So let's all walk back to the top because we are going to do that again. I want you to just loosen up and relax those butt muscles. Remember, we don't want to feel it in the back. You may feel it here, okay, and that usually comes from lower back issues. You may feel it here, but what I really want is you to feel it burning through that butt, okay? So bring your legs in closer if you need to, as long as you can balance. Tuck, walk, 3 steps. Look at the ceiling, head's on the ball, don't look at me. Heads at the face straight up, arms are hanging out to your side. Walk your feet in towards each other if you need to. Squeeze your bum and lift your hips. All right, remember, pelvic floor stays lifted as we drop the hips towards the floor. Now we squeeze the butt and push up. Let's do that 10 times. Ready, down, 1, 2, don't let that ball move, 3, 4, it's only your butt moving, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, let's do one more and hold. Now let's walk all the way back to sit up, hold the ball, don't run. Don't go too fast, you may lose your balance, okay? Hopefully no one's crashed out yet. How are you all going? I hope you're going all right. You'll have to let me know at the end of class how you went, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you found tricky, so I can give you a little bit of advice and hopefully help you. We're going to keep working on that butt now, but we're going to come down onto the floor to do it. So you're actually going to come down onto your knees. Now, if you do have any knee issues, then, like me, there are certain ways you can do it. Now, my issue is, I think, the kneecap's not sitting in the right spot, okay? So that can sometimes be a case, and that can happen to anyone in this particular exercise. It can be a case of just moving your leg around until it gets comfortable. If you really are having issues with a knee problem that you already have, then you just do this exercise without a ball, which means you'll be lying on your side down on the floor, okay? Or for today, you can scrap it. Let's open the hips. So what I'm doing is I'm squeezing that butt and pushing the hips forward. So I'm standing up straight, kneeling up straight. I'm going to bring that ball in. Now I'm not exactly straight because I'm trying not to put too much weight on that knee, but chest is open, hips are open. So when I come over, I should go the other way first. Okay, when I come over, I'm now leaning my hip on the ball. This leg's off the floor, so it's not a support at all at the moment. Okay, but shoulders are back and hips are open. I do find a lot of people struggle to get into this position because they bend forward and come over because they think, I've got to grip onto the ball. Now when you're in this position, your butt's pointed backwards and your shoulders are forward. Now if I try and flatten out, where's the ball going to go? It's going to go straight forward, okay? And I'll fall off the ball. So, squeeze your bum, open your hips, shoulders open, squeeze your bum, open your hips, shoulders open. The whole time, that's your mantra to get you into position. Hips stacked. I'm going to stretch out this leg as now support. Now, for advanced people, you can do this with both legs straight. Okay, going to be a lot harder to balance. At the moment, I'm using this knee as a balancing point. Okay, if I take that foot off the floor, that knee off the floor, I don't have that balance there now. Okay, so it is going to be harder. I guess if you've got knee issues, that's also another place to go to. So I'm tucking my bum under, my hips are open, and I'm going to lift this leg. The weight needs to be pushing down into the ball. It needs to be held and supported here, okay? If I have all my weight down in that foot, so if my pelvic floor is not lifted, I'm going to go like this, okay? You don't want to be doing that. That foot needs to be nice and light because this is where my weight is, over here. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it. Okay, let's circle the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now hold. Your bum's still tucked under. Let's flex the foot and really test our balance now. Push the leg forward. Keep it straight. Till the point where you're about to go tipping backwards and you stop. And keeping the leg straight, you're now going to push it back behind you. To the point just before you go forward. Let's do that again. Forward, moving from here and back. It's like hinging. Back to the center. All right. Take your foot down. Now again, you can have both legs straight. You can have this leg straight. This is the easiest position for this next exercise. Harder, lift it off the floor. Harder, both legs straight. Okay, so choose your position. Hand comes to the ear. I'm actually going to lower myself right down over the ball now. Tucked right under my armpit, rib cage on the ball. Belly button back. You're going to curl up. Now I'm using these oblique muscles here to curl up. Hand is support. Some people can do it this way. Some people may need a little bit more support by holding the ball, okay? You come down and you curl up. So support yourself with your hand on the ball or like this, as long as you're not going to lose the ball. It's all about that squeeze in that waistline there. Squeeze, squeeze. 3, 4, 5, belly button back. 6, bum still tucked under. 8, 9, one more, and 10. Good. We're going to come off the ball now and we're going to go around to the other side. So when you come off the ball, you can push your bum back. That moves the ball underneath you. Roll over and come around if that helps you. Don't fall off the ball. Okay, let's go to the other side. Pull the ball in. Come over the top. So remember, hips open, shoulders open, belly button back. Squeeze your bum. In position, weight is coming down through the ball. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, tapping gently. 7, 8, 9, and hold. Circle. 2, 3, 4, 5. Backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flex the foot. Take it forward. Bend at the hips, not the upper body. Push back the hip and open the hip. Back to the center and down. Hand to the ear, lower, and 1, 2. Belly button back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Bum out, over the ball. Okay, I'm going to get you to come into child's pose now. We're going to actually take our knees out of the width of the mat. The tape is preventing me from bending my knee. Stick your butt right back and stretch out your arms. So I'm on a wonky angle because I've taped up my knee this morning. Okay, and bring it in. Okay, that's your butt. Let's do a little bit on our back because we don't want to run out of time. Now I'm actually going to turn side on so you can see what position I'm in, but then I'm going to come back to this position, all right? Actually, I might even be able to do it here, slightly against the wall. So this is where we use our wall. This is the only time we use the wall, okay? You don't need a wall, you can use a chair, you can use a table. Find something, be imaginative, inventive. I have the tips of my toes, the very top of my feet, on the floor. But the balls of my feet, the back there, is against the wall. And that's all that's touching the wall. Okay, now if you don't want to have shoes against the wall, that's fine, understandable. Take them off. You don't need them for this exercise. Okay. Now again, I'm kneeling up. I'm opening the hips. I'm squeezing the bum. Push the hips forward. Don't start in this position. Okay, and I know that can be hard for people with lower back issues to open up those hips, but we've got to try as much as we can. Then bring that ball right in. I'm still squeezing my butt. I'm pulling the ball towards me. Still squeezing the butt, still squeezing the butt. Lie on the ball, not in the ball, okay? On top of the ball. And then the back legs, see if I can do this on this angle, straighten, okay? Now I'm going to end up with one foot on the wall and one away, but you're going to have both feet on the wall. Okay, so here's your position for this one. The ball should be sitting roughly underneath the hips, so I actually prefer mine just back a little bit. Okay, but it should be sitting right underneath the pelvis there. You can feel the ball at the top of the legs, you can feel the ball coming right up to the base of your rib cage. From here, we're going to lie all the way over the ball. We're going to try and get our nose on the ball. Belly button back. Take your hands to your forehead, elbows out to the side. If you need to, you can watch what I'm doing first, but we're going to push the chest up away from the ball. Now that's the chest, not the head. The chest lifts and gently lowers. Chest lifts and gently lowers. Give it a go. If you find it's hurting your neck or your back, let the arms hang. The arms are a weight, so if they're just hanging and relaxed, they're going to weigh a little less than they will out to the sides like this. And for those that want to go a little harder again, you lengthen the arms out and you have them by your ears. Okay, now what you may notice when I'm doing this is I'm not trying to lift as high as you can, and I've seen it so many times. This is not where we need to be. This is going to hurt the back, okay? Plank line, down. Plank line, down. And I'm not talking about people in my classes. I'm talking about things I've seen on YouTube and Facebook and anywhere on social media where people do this and pretend to be an instructor. And they're up here doing this, and it's like, no, that's not the move, okay? That's not Pilates, that's yoga. Chest from the ball. What we're trying to do is strengthen these muscles between the shoulder blades. All right, let's relax and hang over the ball. We're going to stretch those arms out away from us. And I look like I'm going to run out of the room, so I might just move back a little bit. And try again. You're going to come over, stretch those arms out. Okay, now remember what I said earlier about this being strong. If you're not switched on here, the ball will move from side to side. So belly button back, lift your pelvic floor and transfer forward. Now I haven't gone too far. All right, it's really just an arm distance away from the ball. Okay, so the ball is still in the same spot underneath my pelvis, but my feet have just come off the floor. Now, not everyone's feet might be off the floor, some might be just touching. That's okay as well, okay? As long as they're just tips. No weight back there. Weight is all up here, shoulders back. If you've got shoulder issues, think about your posture. You should be okay in this position, depending on what is going on. There's not a lot of weight here, okay? All the weight is sitting through the center of the body on the ball. We're gonna squeeze your bum and lengthen the legs and down. Squeeze the bum, lengthen the legs. Remember that plank line I said before? Stretch, there's a plank line, okay? Not all the way up there. So don't bounce. I love it when we go really fast and I see people do this. Might be fun. Hang on, I've lost my head. Might be fun, but it's not right. Squeeze, squeeze. Shoulders back. Upper body does not move. All you're doing is working from your waistline down. You can feel the butt strengthen, you can feel it in the legs, you can feel it in the lower back, as long as it's not painful. Good, okay, let's do one more and hold it. Then I want you to come down, one elbow and then the other, straight down. So my upper body, my butt is still in the same spot. I'm going to squeeze and lengthen those legs and swim a kick. Beating up and down and relax. Don't bounce yourself off the ball. You've got to keep the pelvic area strong, okay? And relax. Feel this in your legs, feel it in your hips, feel it in your butt. It's not in your back. If it is, you may be lifting too high, you may not be connected properly. I would recommend just stopping for a moment and relaxing. And relax, okay? So those legs should be feeling it right. Now let's come up, let's go all the way back, bring your knees all the way to the floor, and you can stretch once again into child's pose. Good, okay, so that's our back. So what we're gonna do is, we're going to come over the top of the ball, we're going to do the upper body 10 times, go straight into the legs, 10 lengthens, down onto the elbows, and we'll do 2 sets of swimmer kick, okay, and then we come back off. Got all that? Follow me. Tips of the toes on the floor, balls on the feet against the wall, open the hips, squeeze your bum, bring the ball in. Lengthen, feet are against the wall here, okay, or whatever you're using. All right. Hands to the forehead or wherever you had them before, lower your nose down to the ball. Your chin is now on your chest. Belly button back, lift your chest. and down. If it starts to hurt your back now, because we've done a few, you can actually bend your knees a little bit and that'll take some of that pressure out of that lower half. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, chin tucked, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen those arms out, drag yourself forward. Remember, you've got to stay connected in the center. Weight is over the wrists. Stretch. 1, not too high. 2, control it. Squeeze your butt. 4, belly button back. 6, stay connected when you drop that ball, your legs down over the ball, sorry, because otherwise you'll start to get the ball dragging you around. 2 more. Hold it, down onto those elbows, and swimmer kick, make sure you're still squeezing, and relax, belly button back and squeeze. Swimmer kick, see if you can keep squeezing the whole time. Long legs. And relax. Back up onto your hands. Walk back slowly. Knees to the floor and child's pose. Good work. Alright. We're going to come down onto the floor now. Okay, that means we're going to sit on the mat with the ball in our hands. And of course there's push-ups and there's planks and all sorts of stuff that we haven't done. I mean, just like the squats, we can't do everything in one class. So I'm trying to give you your whole body something, okay? I am going to go back to your tummy. Your arms are going to be working with this one as well, okay? We're going to grab the ball in our hands and we're going to do some sit-ups. You need to use the ball for you, not against you, okay? So, easiest way, bend your knees, belly button back, pelvic tilt, roll down as slow as you can. The ball is out in front of your chest. Then you take the ball back over your head, tap it to the floor, and when you're coming up, if you need to, use your legs. Okay? When you get to here, you're going to sit up tall, shoulders down, lift out of the hips. Then we bring the ball back in front. So this is the easiest way to do it. Take it back, use your legs if you need to come up. Let's make it harder. You leave your arms up above your head. You roll down, you tap, you roll back up, and the ball's above the head the whole time, okay? So you work out what suits you. Out for my client, and lift, shoulders down, belly button back. Remember, we're rolling that spine onto the floor, and lift, and roll, and lift. Let's do one more. And lift. Good. Now we're going to take the ball to the floor. So make sure you take my legs out nice and wide. Knees are still bent. So for those that have any hip issues, this is where you're going to grab that pillow or small ball or whatever. If you don't have anything like that right now and you do have hip issues and you're going to find it tough, you can try it, see how it feels, and if it's not for you, do exactly the same exercise but without the ball, okay? So at least you're doing something. Ball between your legs, we're going to roll down. I'm keeping it close to me, and as I come down, I swing my legs up and over the top of the ball. I'm going to take my arms out to the side, okay? Belly button sinking to the floor. I'm just going to rock the legs over to the side. So if you don't, well actually you can all do this one with a big ball. This is quite a comfortable one. But in a moment, we're going to have the ball between our knees. So if you've got a big ball, you can do this one. I was thinking too far ahead. If you've already got rid of your ball, that's fine. You can do this, pop your legs in this position and pretend there's a ball under there. Keep that belly button sinking down into the floor, whichever way you do it. And don't go too far. So the bonuses with this one is that the legs aren't as much weight in this position as they would be if you didn't have the ball. Okay, so in that respect, using the fit ball for this exercise is a tiny bit easier. However, when you rock to the side, Your tummy muscles have to work a little harder because the ball, being round, wants to keep going. So the control that you have to have, the stability that you have to have through the center of the body is so much more important with the ball. I mean, it's important anyway. But they're the differences between this one and doing it without the ball. Okay, we're going to come back to the center. So now we are going to take this ball between the knees, and I know how much everyone loves this. We're going to try and grab it with the lower half of the leg and the knees, okay? And then we're going to pick it up. So, I'm going to make sure it's there. You want to try not to lose it. If you let go of your legs, if your legs go outwards, you're going to lose it, okay? So you do have to keep those inner thighs working the whole time. So I can feel those inner thighs already switched on. Okay, belly button is sinking down. We're going to try and lift the bum off the floor and back. You may not be able to, that's okay, just go as far as you can. The thing is to focus on pulling that belly button down and feel like you're trying. You can try pushing your hands into the floor, but just firm, not too hard. If you're using a pillow or a small ball, you're doing exactly the same movement. If you're not using a ball at all, then your legs are together in tabletop. So bring the legs together. Okay, so we feel those abs working as well as the legs. Let's do one more. Good. Now I'm going to get you to tuck your hands underneath your bum. Make sure your fingertips are sticking out. And we're going to tap away from us. Now when you do that, it's really important that belly button is sinking into the floor. Let's move away. 1 and 2, belly button down. 3 and 4. Let's do one more. Good. Hands out and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands under the bum and tap. 1. Keep the belly button down. 2. Don't let your back lift. 3 and 4. Can you feel those legs working? 5. Anyone going to say no? Anyone using a ball going to say no? Bring your knees into your chest. Hold the ball in your hands. Relax your legs for a moment. Okay, then you're going to pop the ball back. You're going to put it on the floor and stretch your legs out. Okay, so I've just made sure the ball's not too close to my knees, okay? Move it away a little bit. You can see that my feet, my heels are flat on the ball, on the top of the ball, okay? And that's important. Hands down by your side. Again, a lot of concentration on this center area of your body, your pelvic region. You're going to draw the belly button down, squeeze your bottom and slowly lift those hips. You're coming up into a line from ankles to shoulders. And then you're going to roll the spine back down. Now, if the ball rocks from side to side, that's the pelvis not connected properly. That means that you're not coming up evenly. If it's bouncing up and down a little bit, it just means that those legs are really pushing into the ball, and you'll probably find that those hamstrings will get really tight really quickly. So they're going to get tight anyway because you are using them. Make sure you're squeezing your bum. Really important. And roll and squeeze. Hold. Roll. Still squeezing. Let's go one more. And up. And down. Good. Okay, I'm going to get you to bend your knees. You're going to take your right foot up to the ceiling. I want you to flex that foot, so pull your toes right back. Grab hold of that leg and just pull it towards you. You should feel a stretch in the back of that leg there. With the foot flexed, it goes all the way down through the calf behind the knee. It's a little bit more intense. But as we use our hands to pull it, that's getting into that hamstring that you just used. Good, very slowly take it away, bend the knee, put that foot on the ball, take the other one up. Flex the foot, pull it in. And release. Good, we're going to pick that ball back up. Whenever we pick the ball up, we use our legs because it's more fun. You're going to roll up and sit at the top. balancing if you can. Arms up, belly button back. See if you can balance, see if you can keep holding it. If it's hurting your back, then you need to take your feet down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take the legs out, ball up, and reach for your toes. Drop your head. Belly button back, sit up tall. Take the legs out wide, ball on the floor. Push the ball away. I keep running off the screen. Push the ball away. And pull it back in. Good. Pop the ball on the right side of you and bring your legs together. Right leg, take it across the body. Pull the foot back as much as you can. Hug that knee towards your chest. Follow the ball round behind you. Keep sitting tall. And back around. Change legs. Pop the ball on the other side. Take the other leg over, lift up, sit up tall, and turn. Now I've run out of room. Keep turning as much as you can. So you can actually see how much room we actually use. It's really about the length of your mat, maybe slightly more than that, and a body width beside your mat. So you don't need a lot of space. I do know that there are people that do the class every Tuesday evening in a tiny space. So don't think you don't have enough room to be able to do fitball. If you've enjoyed doing fitball and you felt something really going on and you want to try it again, you can come along and join our class or grab the link, but it doesn't matter about space. You don't have to have a lot of space to do the fitball class, okay? And I know that people have been concerned about that. Let's come up onto our knees, carefully. All right. So we're going to take that right foot forward, square up, doesn't matter what side the ball's on right now, and tuck your bum under. I'm just holding the ball beside me so I don't lose it. So you guys have got rid of it earlier, you need to have it back now. Then we're going to change legs. Carefully, tuck the bum under. So we're opening up the hip. You can also feel the stretch going down that leg. Good, okay, you're going to come into a crouch position now, behind your ball. Now, if you're not sure what I'm saying or what I'm doing, crouch position properly, not like this one. Okay, ball's away from you. You're going to push your bum towards the ceiling. Now you can keep those knees bent. Watch what I'm doing if you're not sure. Stretch the ball away or move the ball away from you. Stretch the arms out. Feel that working right from the shoulder blades. Now, belly button back, you're going to breathe out and you're going to cat stretch. You're going to push the spine towards the ceiling, drop the chin into the chest and start to come back up. Now we're going to breathe in and push the ball away. And we're going to breathe out and bring it up. And once more, push the ball away, stretch out those arms and belly button back. Now as we come up, and then I'll get you to let go of your ball, don't worry about it. Roll all the way to the top. And stand, oh, I'm hiding. And stand nice and tall. Okay, small bend of the knees. Pop the ball between your knees. So I'm just pinching it. So if I turn side on, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just pinching the edge of the ball. Tuck the bum under so you're not like this. Tuck it under. And roll the shoulders back. And squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze. Good. Stay where you are. I'm just going to face you. All right. Going the wrong way. Bring the arms forward, open out and squeeze back and release. And back and release. Once more. Back and release. Arms down. Deep breath in and out. Hands to the ears. Now breathe in and lift your shoulders. And breathe out, relax. Breathe in, elbows gently back. And breathe out. Let's do that once more. Breathe in and out. And in and out, and in and out. All right, well done guys, good work. So there's no live chat, so please don't use live chat. Send me a text message, let me know how you went. How did you feel? Did you enjoy it? If you haven't got my phone number, it's 0409 688 279. You can also send me a message through Facebook, through Messenger or on Facebook. Or you can go to my website, which is Core Strength Fitness Victoria. corestrengthfitnessvictoria.com.au. Okay, and there's all sorts of info there. This class I do run on a Tuesday evening, and it will be staying online when we go into term 3. So it will stay Tuesday 6 p.m. Okay, so anyone who usually does that, see you tonight. You get two in a day, which is good. That's good fun. All right, I'll just click on this little button here. Oops, not that one, sorry. Let's try this one instead. Hey, there we go. Try that one. You can still see me. Oh, so that hasn't worked either, but anyway. What do? We get rid of this, I think. There we go. Technology, hey? There we go. Have to put that up. So, hopefully you all feel pretty good. Got those tummies working. Got those arms and legs and backs working, and you can also see exactly the differences. If you usually do a Pilates mat class, you can recognise the exercises and just feel the differences between them. What do you prefer? Thank you, Terry. My knee's okay actually. I think because I didn't do squats. I did feel it a few times, but no, it'll be alright. We'll get over it. Thank you. See you later, Melva. See you at the end of the week. That's right, Kay. Keep practicing. Good work. No problem, Deb. See you tonight. Oh, good for you, Anne. Felt all right, Joan. Didn't come off. That's the important thing. Listen to your... Exactly, Evelyn. And that's why we didn't do squats or those planks. Yeah, no problem, Terry. I'll speak to you soon. Have a good day, Evelyn. Enjoy the peace and quiet while the boys are out. Jenny. How to pump up the ball. So what I was saying about pumping up the ball is that, well, you can use a compressor which is quite fast, but not everyone has one of those. You can also go down to the service stations and you can use, you have to have a little connection, but you can use the air thing there. But you've got to have a little connection to go in the end of it, so that's the only thing. Usually the balls come with one. The other option is to just sit there while you're watching telly, that's what I said, and use a hand pump. Actually, when did I say that? Use a hand pump or a foot pump or something like that to get it pumped up. But when it is pumped up to the right spot, and if I'll just show you on the other camera, when it's on the right spot, whether it's soft or hard, now that's a preference for each person, whatever you feel more comfortable in. I prefer soft, so you can see that this ball is soft. Okay, when I sit on it, I sink into it a little bit. But my knees are at right angles through my hips and right angles at my knees down to my ankles. Okay, so that's how you should be sitting on a ball, at right angles like that. So if the ball is too big, you're going to end up with your butt up here and your legs down there, and it's going to be really hard on your legs to sort of really balance. So even if you're sitting upright, it's hard to do that. you're still going to end up pushing downwards and the angles aren't quite right. So that'll get hard and less stability. If the ball is too soft, same thing, but in the opposite direction. Your knees will be too high and make it really, really tricky for some exercises over the others. So you've got to find a comfortable pressure, and you've got to sit at right angles like this, okay? So probably for you, Jenny, I would say don't get anything bigger than a 55 centimetre ball, because I know what size you are. I know how tall you are, so that would suit you. This one's a little bit bigger, so this would be too big for you, but I like it soft, so lucky. But that's how you work out the ball size and that. Hopefully that helped. Yeah, so when you're plugging it up, where is it? You get that little white plug out of it, okay? It'll pull out with difficulty. You might need to get a key or a knife, or not a sharp knife, like a butter knife, in behind it. Don't use your teeth. Give it a jiggle. I usually just wobble them around until they start to come loose, and then it'll pop out, okay? And then you would stick your connection on the end of your bike pump or whatever you're using, which looks like a sort of a long sort of needle, about that long, but just skinny. And it'll probably actually look a little bit like, yeah, like that. Like the, can you see it? I'm trying to stick it in front of my black shoulder. There you go. So it's just a straight up and down point. So that's what you would have. Looks very much like your plug. Okay, you'd stick that in there, pump it up until you can get it quite firm. Even while you're pumping it up, like if you've seen me in class, I'll sit on them, see if it feels all right, what the angles are like, and then you know whether you need more or not. You've got to keep in mind as well, people, when you are buying, when you're buying a new ball, especially if you get a decent quality ball, you do need to keep in mind the fact that they can take a couple of days to pump up. Okay, some of them take 3 or 4 days to pump up, and that's purely because the material is quite tight and hard when you first get it. Keep them at room temperature as well. Don't ever, preferably don't keep them in a garage and stuff, because they go too hard and then the rubber will crack. But on the other side of that, if it's too hot, so if you left it in your car on a summer day and it gets hot in the car, it will actually make the material really thin and really, it'll wreck the plastic in that respect, where it'll become too stretchy and you'll never get it back into shape. And then you don't even end up with a round ball, you end up with an oval shaped ball as well. So there's a few little things that you've got to look after them, especially if you're going to spend the money on them. You know, you want to look after them, because even the expensive ones can get ruined. Awesome, Mary, well done. Thanks, Mandy. So Mandy, as far as the community centre goes, they are open. Classes won't be back though for another few weeks. This is at this stage. Of course, Cardinia, Beaconsfield should stay open. But I know that some of the staff live in Pakenham, so who knows what's happening today and tomorrow. Depends on where things go. At this stage, we are looking at coming back on the 27th of July. Classes will be coming back, but please, Beaconsfield, please do not book in until the beginning of term. So you've got another 2 weeks, okay, before you can book in. Don't even put your name down, because that's not going to work either. That's not fair on people that are waiting. There's so many people. We can only have 10 per class. So if you wanted to do 2 a week, when it comes to booking in, you'll have to leave your name, and if they've got room, they'll give you a call for a second class. Okay, it's going to be tough. I will continue with online though. There will be mat classes, there will be seated classes, there will be fitball, there'll be more advanced classes. So there'll be everything online still, so you'll still be able to do something if you don't get into a class, okay? You will also have to pay for the whole term. You will not be able to go casually. And that again is purely because it's just fair. Well done, Hanny. Good work. You're still out there, and I've done a lot of talking now. Did I miss anyone? I think so. I think I've spoken to everyone that I saw. Again, let me know how you go. If you've got any questions about anything I'm doing, you will get an email with, if you've been coming to my online classes, you will get an email with my timetables on it. So you'll know what's going on. And like I say, as far as the community centres go, that's Outlook included in Pakenham. You'll have to wait until the beginning of term 3. I won't be there for 2 or 3 weeks at the beginning of term anyway, so you're not going to miss out on anything. Okay, have a great week everyone. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope no one fell off the ball. Hope you got something out of that class, and might encourage you to come along and join us in a football class every now and then, because it is lots of fun and it is super good for you. Alright, I will speak to you soon.